Everyone loves a Monday.
It's raining out there. If you can't see it all over my shirt, it's not because I'm a
No, I couldn't.
weird sweating slob. It's because,
I mean, he could be.
well, I am, but
Let's not
that's
gloss
not
over
why.
that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it was a weekend. Had a birthday. Did a thing.
Yep. Happy birthday. That's right.
Yeah,
Again, I guess.
Yeah. Survived. Still here.
How old do you know? 52, 50?
Yes, I'm 18 going on 37, I think. I am 37, I think. Yeah, that sounds about right. At the age where you kind of got to do the math to figure out like where you are.
I do that for many years, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of...
I look at my wife like she's going to be able to rattle this off the top of her head just in case.
So yeah, it was whatever. Somehow August is here, which is quasi-ridiculous, so...
I know.
So how's the 6A? 6A. Kind of hard to say
6A.
that.
It's good. So this is the first time Google's ever sent me a review phone.
You know what they should do before you even go into that? They need to make a plaid version and call it the Canadian edition. 6A.
A. That's an untapped font of humor. So yeah, maybe. No, it's nice. It's about the same size as a iPhone 12 or 12 Pro. Which, I guess that's good.
Yeah.
It's amazingly thin. I think the biggest, I've only had it for about 24 hours. So, I think the biggest accomplishment I can point to so far is it feels just like a Pixel 6, whatever. It doesn't feel like a stripper model of any kind. Obviously there are features it doesn't have, like wireless charging, which I never use.
You don't use wireless charging, really? Mm-mm. I use it almost every day, exclusive. I rarely plug in except unless I need a fast charge.
I just have never. I've had a bunch of wireless chargers come through the house. I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah, just have it on the bedstand. You just drop it right on that thing.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
You don't have to go with the plug.
I think. Well, I charge most stuff out in the same area. Well, most like phones and things, and so I have a couple of devices that use the cable that can't use wireless charging, like an iPad Air. I don't think. It's just easier to have the one. I don't know. There's no reason for it. Anyway, it's fine. It's the performance is great. The cameras are really good, even though they're like the last gen cameras, but Pixel. The camera bump's a lot smaller.
What's it cost? I don't even know what the 6A costs anymore.
$449.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, so it has the same chipset as the high-end ones. 128 gigs of storage, I think 6 gigs of RAM versus 10 or 8 or 12, depending on which other one you get. It's all the same stuff. Like, it's great. It's a 60 hertz screen, right? It's not a high refresh rate screen. I don't care. I actually turned that off on my Pixel 6 Pro. I don't notice it. So, yeah. Anyway, it's good. It's good value. It's hard not to knee jerk just be like, yeah, just buy it if you need it. It's great. I do want to use it for a little while, but it's very, very good.
Does that have iMessage? It
doesn't. It has a dual camera system with.
Does it support Duo? Which one did they just kill? Like the Duo.
Duo. I don't remember anymore. I think it's Meet now, and then you can get it inside of Gmail or on its own. I think is how they. So we'll change. Just don't learn it. It's going to change in 6 months.
This is how dumb my brain is.
Yeah.
When you said they call it Meat, and then you said it's inside, I was going to say a taco.
I cannot say Google Meet without thinking that it's a meat product. Yes.
It's like the local meat. This is my brain.
I did. Same thing.
Like it's
like in a taco.
Yeah, or in a burrito.
There's no meat inside that I know of. Anyway, yeah, no, it's great. Obviously, if you could get a Pixel 6, a Sixel, the normal version is about $600, right? So if that thing comes down, sometimes, I guess on like Amazon Day, it was for $500.
Yeah,
I would choose that. Wireless charging, better screen, better camera.
Yeah.
More RAM, bigger screen, 90 hertz. But $150. Now we're having a conversation. Plus, I think some people will like the size.
Yeah, I could see the size being quite appealing.
Yeah, it's not stupid small. It's like iPhone
normal small,
13 small. Yeah,
yeah,
normal small. Yes, it is normal small.
Speaking of iPhone, so there's new iPhone beta or whatever, public beta for the peasants, me. And I will say, I think they made a pretty big regret. I do not like the Home app. They have changed it
I'm
for
sorry, what?
the Home app for like all your IoT junk.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Oh, really? See, I don't use that. That's interesting. How did they change it? I don't know.
Well, for one thing, they made it so on the old one you had these big, large touch targets. Like you want to turn a light off, turn it, you touch the button. Now, if you touch what you think would turn it off and on, the little light bulb, it actually lets you change the color of it, which is really annoying when it's 10 at night. I'm trying to just turn this stuff off. It's like, do you want to turn it blue? It's like, no, I want to turn it off. And
Yeah, but how do you feel about blue? Blue is like off.
yeah, I don't know. It's one of those
interesting.
weird,
Okay.
odd regressions where they change the interface up just to change it, which I guess whatever. But it doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
No.
So we'll see. We'll see if they make it better. They have,
At least you noticed something. I mean, I installed Android 13 on these things. Well, not in this one yet. But it's just not much going on there.
yeah.
A couple of icons.
I mean, you're 13 revisions in. At some point, you just kind of run out of ideas, or just,
No, for sure.
I mean, at least
Yep. I think it's telling that this thing came up with iPhone or Android 12, and I was like, yeah, that's the same thing.
yeah, it's fine. It's good enough.
It's fine. Yeah.
It's good enough. So, anyways, good enough. We'll find out if Windows 10 22H2 is good enough as they.
Yeah, in
Launching.
some indeterminate time period, they will indeterminately tell us what indeterminate new features are in it.
Yeah, what
You don't need to know. You don't need to know.
scoped features. No, Windows 10 is yesterday.
At some point, doesn't some enterprise juggernaut come down on them and say, tell me what's going on now? Like, this is just dumb.
Well, then
I'm
they
not
would
playing
just
a game
ship
of hide
them.
and seek here. You got to just tell me what's happening.
They'd ship them a bunch of fortune cookies with one feature in each cookie. So you have to sit there and open them and get the crumbs everywhere. Just
I
one
don't
further
understand how anyone puts up with this. I think this is the dumbest.
Yeah.
It's just unprofessional.
Yep. They know it's coming. They know it's there. They just.
There's no reason not to tell it. Say what it is.
Yeah. Nobody's expecting anything.
I know. I know it's going to be nonsense features, like or business things you can turn on that'll be off by default, whatever. Just tell us. Just tell us.
Yep. The only other interesting thing that's popped out in the past little bit, and I haven't fully read into this, but it looks like Apple Pay is coming to third-party browsers finally.
That's right.
But
Yep.
a lot of people are thinking that it's just antitrust stuff, them starting to appease. But either way, I mean, it's
Whatever, it's happening, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't, like you, I didn't look deeply into it, but my understanding is you can access Apple Pay from Safari on your iDevice, but not other browsers, I guess.
Correct.
So I guess you're paying at a website or whatever.
yeah.
So that will open it up to other browsers.
Which randomly, this is tangibly related. So we went on my birthday, we went out to a restaurant with some friends for lunch, and we don't go to a ton of restaurants. We tend to just make a lot of food. And maybe I'm just behind the times. Maybe I'm behind the times. But this was like a hole in the wall joint. I had the best. It wasn't even. They called it biscuits and gravy, but it was not biscuits and gravy. It was like this homemade waffle thing, and then it had like chorizo and like jalapenos in the sauce, and it was kind of like a reddish cream. They called it biscuits and gravy. It doesn't matter. It was delicious either way. So when you came to pay, on the receipt was just a giant QR code, and you scanned it, and it opened up. They announced this at WWDC, I think last year or whatever, like the little applet. I don't know what you call it. It was just like a little slide up of the app.
Yeah. But
And
what
it had
happens if you don't have an iPhone?
Well, you just don't pay.
Sounds about right.
Actually, it was some third-party service, so I'm guessing it would take you to a website. But it was just like the little applet thing opened up, and you just had Apple Pay. You just tapped the button, picked your tip, and that was it. It took 10 seconds.
So
it was
since you brought this up, you've reminded
absolutely
me of something.
brilliant.
Or maybe you don't. Do you use Apple Pay? Is this a thing?
Oh,
you
yeah, I use Apple Pay all the time.
all the time. So if you're out in the world and you go to a convenience store maybe or a restaurant even, a bar, you actually hold your phone up and it pays that way.
Yeah.
Like you do this.
Yep.
See, I don't actually do this, right? Which is weird when you consider what I do for a living and the fact that I do know that when you pay that way, I'm not sure on Apple, but at least on Android, I'm probably on Apple. It will scramble your credit card number so you don't you're not even using your real number. It's like a one-time code kind of a deal. There are really good reasons to use this. I never do. So we were at like a bar or something the other day, and my friend just whipped out his phone and paid for it like he was flying down from the future. I don't know. I was like, I mean, I know this exists.
Yep.
I have experimented with it. I don't know why I don't use it more often.
Paul, you
It
were
seems
missing
like-
out on a key tech experience that you must try out sometime.
Yep. Which
So
is
start using this on wherever. And then you'll go to a place that doesn't have it, and you'll just be tapping your phone on the stupid terminal, just going, why isn't this working?
it's like when you yeah.
And you're just-
So
Yep.
whatever year the Apple Watch came out, whatever year that was, I bought the first Apple Watch. I was so excited because one of the very first apps on it was this JetBlue thing, and I flew JetBlue all the time. So you could, the code would come up on the little,
Yep.
instead of bringing out your phone or a piece of paper, they had like the machine, and you could,
Yep.
but they hadn't updated the machine. So the machine was just thick enough so you could put a phone in there, but it would not support the size of my wrist with the watch. And I was like, come on. And I think that was like the only time I ever tried to use it, and I couldn't even use it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was burned by that probably.
So the future's marginally better.
New ways to look stupid with technology.